This is Shai Alexander, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Jay Will, and I'm down to dunk.
They had. Here we go.
I'm Isaiah Hartenstein, and I'm down to dunk.
I hope savior of basketball has won.
Well, the Dortcher Chamber has been going pretty well.
I'm Aaron Wiggins, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Chet Holmgren, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Mark Dagnall, and I'm down to dunk.
He just does a big smile and
I feel blessed by God to be here with Down to Dunk, be here with you.
I'm Alex Caruso, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm AJ Mitchell, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Isaiah Joe, and I'm down to dunk.
Oh, jeez. Are you going to sing it good enough for me to guess it, or?
Panhandle. Jeez. I'm tweaking.
Name 2 famous Oklahomans.
Myself and Jalen Williams.
Is that a crazy answer?
All my friends call me Bob.
Where's Rachel?
Unique story. You lived a whole life.
Plain?
Plain.
This is Cason Wallace, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Lou Dort, and I'm down to Dort.
True blood Oklahoma.
That's right.
Pretty exciting, if you ask me.
This is J-Dub, world champion J-Dub, and I'm down to dunk. And eat burgers.
Welcome to Down to Dunk. I'm your host, Andrew Schlecht. We're part of the Athletic Podcast Network. Before I get to my good friend, Michele Berra, let me tell you about 2 other friends of mine, Aaron and Drew Reese of Shelter Insurance. Give them a call or text today, 405-773-5500 or 405-478-7714 today. You can text them, hey, I need to upgrade my car insurance or my home insurance with Shelter Insurance because it's just the right company to go with. Storm season, there's going to be hail. We had hail last week. I'm sure there's more that's on the way. The wind yesterday. Maybe somebody had the roof blown off. That's happened before. You know what? You're going to need somebody in your corner. Also, might be fun to have somebody that enjoys Jared McCain threes as much as you do. So give them a call or text today and support the people that support Down to Dunk with me on a Monday afternoon is my good friend Michele Berra. Michele, what's up?
Well, still selling high, apparently.
Sold high. Listen, you can sell high on a knockdown shooting guard that is maybe one of the most fun players we've had with the Thunder ever. Because what's more fun than Jared McCain making multiple threes? How about 5 threes in a game on national television? There's just not much more fun than that. And especially when it's Isaiah Hartenstein, bounce to the legs, screen on the other side, gets the ball, shoots it, makes it. And then they both just emote to each other. They're just both Zoomers emoting to each other afterwards. And it's this is unbelievable. This is so fun. Sell high on that guy. Good job, Daryl.
Yeah, it's and then give it to the Thunder because why not giving him, well, at least they put him west and not east, but it's
sure,
and we will see games like the one before where against Boston where McCain was not good enough defensively.
Sure.
But then you have these games, and maybe OKC will face just teams like Boston in the playoffs because there is San Antonio. There are other teams that probably have some guard that McCain will have trouble guarding. Mm-hmm. You know what? I don't care. I don't care today because you do the trade for today, sure, and we are getting results already. But you do the trade for the future. And McCain is a young player who cares about playing in a certain way. That's why after a game that was difficult for him against Boston, against a team that has ball handlers, goes out and plays hard. Hit threes. It's just a luxury. And it's not a small feat that he takes Wiggins minutes.
Yeah, no, it's not.
And takes them with ease. AJ Mitchell, McCain, and Joe are taking the minutes. I mean, Caruso will have his minutes. J-Dub, when he comes back, he has his minutes.
Yep.
The fact that these three guys that have shooting, creation, and willingness to play defense, not always effectiveness, but willingness to play at a certain level, it's a tell. And again, we mentioned many times the fact that this team will evolve someone that is very good cannot be part of the rotation for the long run. And the fact that there is competition for that is a great thing for OKC.
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And just the fact too that he's a knockdown shooter. Like, how many guys on this roster even have had like really good shooting percentages through the years, but like just like the consistency, it's like they get to 40% because they go 60%, 20%, 30%, 40%. Like, it's just, they're just streaky. Like, a lot of these guys are characterized that way. And to now have two guys in Isaiah Joe and Jared McCain that are actually knockdown shooters, and credit to Mark, he did this lineup twice. He did it to start the second quarter. He did it to start the fourth quarter of this game, where he threw out AJ, Joe, McCain, Chet, and iHeart. And it's just like poetry, man. Like, those lineups are so
it's fun.
Like, you have guys running around screens. You have iHeart, who he just builds instant chemistry. And a lot of people were talking about this, yesterday, but I talked to Isaiah Joe at length about it. iHeart talked a little bit about it too, just like the chemistry that he has with these shooters. Like, where does that come from? So I was just kind of digging into it with Isaiah Joe, just like, do you remember what it was like starting to play with him? And like, did you practice these shots? Like, did you practice these like dribble handoffs, or these like they're really like this like pass screen combo? Like, are these things that you guys practiced? And he said no. He said, like, I remember the first time I ever received like a between the legs pass from Hart was in game, and we'd never practiced before. And he's like, and I didn't even shoot it. He's like, I didn't even know what to do with it when I got the ball. And that it took him a minute, and like he said that Hart was like, wait, you don't like, how do you like to receive the ball? Like, talking in game about this. He's like, all these things. He's like, most of the things that happen like that, he said we tried them for the first time in game. And like all these little tricks that Hartenstein does are within the flow of the game. And it is, like, it's like why Hart is such a perfect Thunder player, and like fits the less pattern, more rhythm, mantra that Sam Presti has, where it's not about us, like the coaching staff or anybody saying like, hey, you have to do XYZ for this play. It's like, can we get guys in position, and can we play free flowing basketball? Yeah. Like, they're not prescribing these passes. Yeah. It's just like part of the rhythm of the way that Isaiah Hartenstein plays basketball. And he said he got it from Draymond Green. He said Draymond Green did this. Andrew Bogut did this in like the early days of those Warriors teams with Steph, where he would get a bounce pass, and like Hart does between the legs. Yesterday he had behind the back to McCain for one. He has like these like drop off passes, and it's like all kind of predicting where these guys are going to be after they run past him.
Shooters and cutters.
Yeah, it's just really impressive.
Yeah, to me, one small detail about that interaction, I knew about that because I listened to the Dream Team pod.
Yeah.
You can approach a teammate, a coworker, say, "Why didn't you shoot it? Come on, shoot it, man!" Or saying, "You didn't like it." Like, this puts the sentence in such a different concept. Like, it's, "Hey, I really want you to get the ball in a perfect way, because I thought I was doing something for you, and it didn't end up working. So help me understand, what do I need to do better in order for you to take a shot?" And this is such a different perspective and such a better way to have something working.
Yeah.
Because it's
True.
if you remember like the Russ era, Russ was giving teammates perfect passes, but sometimes the results were not right. And I mean, Russ is an awesome player. The passing quality that Russ had is one of the reasons why OKC was able to be successful. So I'm not dogging on the guy. I'm just saying that it's different. It's different stature for sure. But I mean, like understanding why guys like Domas or Ferguson were not shooting those shots, it's as important as the quality of the pass. So the fact that you can get chemistry with Hartenstein with ease because he's such a willing passer, such a willing team player. Him and J. Will are basically this made of the same cloth, different qualities today, but same concept. Hey, I want for you to score. I want you to get the best pass in order for you to have the best possible shot. If you approach the game this way, it's insane. And it's all started with the guy in command, a guy that whenever stuff are not working for him is able still to steer the ship wherever it has to go.
Yeah, it is incredibly helpful, and it was just kind of cool getting the context of that, because you kind of just think like, oh, these are probably things they practiced or whatever. And the fact that it's just like, no, this is just happening. Like, this is just natural. And this is just the way these guys play. It's just very cool. And it just makes it even easier for, a guy like McCain to just like pop in the lineup and, just start playing. And so there's obviously the play that is being passed around of McCain getting the ball, after the pass between the legs screen from Hart, where he undoubtedly set a moving screen, but like, I don't know, it was still cool.
It was a moving screen. Yeah.
But
by the way,
it was just executed like so well, and it's so fun. And like that lineup in particular is one that I hope that they continue to hone this last little stretch they have of the season. Is like, let's get this AJ, McCain, Joe, Chet, and Hart lineup just like get the offense just roaring, because
I think that Dub will play in that lineup instead of Joe, and Joe will go back to Shai because Shai
maybe
needs his Joe.
Maybe so. But yeah, even with that, it's like, man, and playing Dub and Shai together, not a bad combination either.
Yeah, they can do that as well. By the way, on that lineup, trivia for you. I'm scrolling through cleaning the glass stats.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at points per shot added, meaning the PSA metric that is basically the total points per shot attempt. Sorry, the total points scored per 100 shots, which is basically just taking into consideration your own shots. Can you guess the first 5 players for OKC?
Say it one more time. I don't know what I'm guessing.
It's basically number of points over shot attempts, including ones that get 2 free throws. So if you do N1, it counts as 1 possession, 3 points. So 3 in points per shot attempt.
Yeah, the lineup that gets the most.
No, the 5 best in that category. It's an individual shot. It's the points that Shai does over in his shooting attempts.
Yeah. And this is over what period of time? I'm sorry. I'm doing so bad at listening right now.
No, that's fine. I'm doing a horrible job at explaining. So it's the entire season after today.
Whole season. I mean, Isaiah Joe
is second, 130.
Yeah. He has had a killer season.
Yeah. It means basically 1.3 points per shot.
Yeah. McCain
is number 5.
Okay.
1.25 or 125, depending on.
Yeah. Hart.
So 2 of that lineup already in there. Hart is number 4, 128. So 3 of that lineup are in there.
Chet?
Chet is number 3, 128.7, a hair above Hartenstein. So 4 of that lineup are there. Can we make it 5?
Is it AJ?
No, it's Shai, but it's fine.
I thought it was be Shai, but I'm like, God, that'd be cool if I don't think AJ's been that efficient, but
Shai is at 133.9.
yeah.
But AJ is number 7, a hair below Kenrich Williams.
Yeah.
So 5, the lineup that you mentioned, 5 of those players are in the top 7.
Yeah.
And this is also why lineups with J. Will, AJ, Joe, J. Will is number 8, by the way, those lineups really work. And if you look, this is an individual stats, but those players are also in the top 8 in terms of plus minus for the team. So yes, it is an individual efficiency stat, but it also percolates to the other plus minus. The only exception, really, it's Alex Caruso, who is not very good. It's not shooting very well, and everybody knows that. But his lineups are fine anyway because he's more than awesome. So, but he's the lone exception.
Yeah, I could see that. And I was going to look at his splits too, because like his shooting splits, I mean, he's not shot the ball well. I mean, even in March, golly, 16% from 3. February is 38%. January 22%. December 27%. I mean, he's just not had a great year shooting the rock. But like, he's just such a. I mean, he and Kaysen are just such high impact players, anyways.
Yeah.
It's like just you can play them and you can count on them helping your team no matter what.
Yeah.
Those two are like separating themselves, you know, in a way where it's you don't really care how many points they have at the end of the day because they're going to help you with assists. They're going to help you create chaos. They're just going to be extremely helpful. That's just how each of those guys kind of function at this point. So yeah, yesterday was really fun. It was a really big win. They came off this really big stretch. You know, they started this stretch really in Chicago against the Bulls, where they played the Bulls and then they had this back-to-back against the Knicks where like Shai didn't play against the Bulls, but then he played against the Knicks. And then they had this kind of gauntlet ahead of them. And you just thought, okay, they have the Knicks, the Warriors, which aren't really a part of this category really, but they're in the mix anyways. The Warriors, the Nuggets, the Celtics, and the Wolves. And you're just like, wow, let's see what this team is made of.
Yeah.
This stretch could define a lot of things. It could define the MVP race. It could define the Western Conference with how close the Spurs have gotten. It could define a lot of things. And especially with the stretch, really this road trip they have coming up, you know, it starts off really soft and gets harder as it goes. But this is a defining stretch. And the fact that they won all of those games is really, really impressive. You know, they've won 7 in a row here. And it's just really, really impressive the way that they've operated throughout them. And 8 in a row, my fault.
8 in a row, yeah.
They've won 8 in a row. They've won 9 of the last 10. And it was impressive the way they did it. You know, the shots from Shai throughout it are just MVP level. And I talked about it on Slam and Jam, how not only is Shai the MVP, but he should also probably be the clutch player of the year with the way that he played. I mean, I don't think it's particularly close. He has the most clutch points in the NBA. He has like legit moments. Like the game of the year was that Denver game at home, and he hit 2 essentially game winners in that one. I mean, he should win both of the awards, and I think that he will, as long as he continues to stay healthy. And he got the 20-point streak, which he had a little patch on his jersey yesterday, which is really cool. And so it's just like such a cool defining stretch of basketball for them. And like now they hit the road. They play Orlando Tuesday, which Orlando's played a lot better, but it is the second night of a back-to-back for Orlando. which is kind of a bummer for them. Then they have Brooklyn the next night. Then they go to Washington to play the Wizards. Then they have the 76ers that are kind of a stripped down version of the 76ers. And then they end this road trip in Boston next Wednesday night. So long road trip, I think longest road trip of the year for them. And, ending it in Boston with another high-level game will be really interesting. And then they come home and play 3 games, one of which you'll be here for, which is very cool. So,
for
that.
I can't wait. Yes, confirm. I'll be at the Knicks game. I'll be in OKC for basically 36 hours.
Yeah.
I tried to make it part of my work trip, and yeah, it's awesome. I can't wait to meet you. It's been 10 years, man. 9?
Is that true?
Yeah, it's been 10 years. I think it was 2016.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is. Meet the Down to Dunk crew. Maybe some dunkers at the game all around.
Yeah. Definitely. Man, that's wild. Yeah, this is gonna be great to see you in person. It's just what a gift. We do have a super chat from Jonathan Allison -J3X. It says, does possible expansion impact your comfort level with Wallace, etc., keeping players, second apron, generational opportunity for Presti to shed some money? It will be really interesting. It's so hard to predict because they're talking about, they're going to vote on expansion. It's likely going to happen, especially if they can get $10 billion. Okay.
Seems like a good reason to do something.
You think the owners are going to turn that thing down? Don't think so. If that is actually true, that they can get that much for it, yeah, without a doubt, they will be pushing that through. But they wouldn't start until the 28-29 season, and so I don't know how much it truly changes the calculus of what they'll do moving forward. I still don't think that they have like a firm grip on what's going to happen this offseason, period. I think that a lot of that will be written throughout the playoffs. So I don't know that really is going to, this is going to impact it here, but it sure makes things interesting. And if like the Wolves can continue to hang around and that team gets moved to the Eastern Conference, like that changes a lot for the league. If Ant stays and they can continue to be competitive, which 28-29 is, it's not that far, but the league changes quickly, and so like what does Gobert look like by that time? What is Julius Randle's status with the team? Like those are their second and third most important players right now. With McDaniels is like, he can be so awesome some games, and then he was a complete no-show yesterday.
He was a ghost.
It was so bad. It was so bad yesterday. I don't know if it's just like the noon game just kind of threw him off, but he's had just like this up and down season, and that just might be kind of who he is, where there's games where he puts up 30 and he's kind of got a little bit of Jeff Green syndrome,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, I don't know. But yeah, it's a good question. And I do think it's going to impact the Thunder down the road for sure. In some way, just because you look at this roster and it will continue to improve in some ways for sure, because they're going to have younger guys there.
And
they give draft picks in lieu of players too. Like they could say like, hey, we have this draft pick, that we acquired at the draft in 2026. We'll give that to you so that you don't take Case and Wallace, so that you don't Nikola Topic or whatever. So
and in terms of generally keeping Kazan at a number and going into the second apron, I don't think that Wallace is in year 3, so you can technically not extend it and wait, which is something that I think in many occasions, that is not the best way to proceed because you risk restricted free agency, you risk a lot. But I think that for OKC, spending it's going to be more and more important by the day. And if you don't reach the agreement that you like, I don't think that you are pressed into, hey, let's make a move now, or because keeping the core together for another season is extremely important. And already next season, I think that the entire team will be different. I think that OKC cannot replicate with Caruso what they do with Wallace, nor with Dort. He's a very specific defender who's improving by the day. I would try hard to keep him. I don't know if the non-Kazon, non-Dort version of the Thunder will win less regular season games, though, because, I mean, they have guards. Who knows how AJ Mitchell will play next year? He improved dramatically on defense. Is he at the level of Kazon? No. Is the team better with AJ instead of Kazon? I don't know. I don't think that yes is a good answer, and I don't think that no is a good answer. I think that there is heavily dependent on who you are playing. And the point about Caruso, it's not about technique. Caruso can be as disruptive as Wallace. I don't think that the durability is there, though. So you have maybe Caruso for 50 games in a season, whereas you have Wallace for 90 if you go deep. So it's very interesting, but it's down the line, and OKC has many cards that they can play in order to keep the roster in a certain way.
Yeah, it will be. This summer will be very interesting. It will be really, really interesting to see how they kind of keep this team together and change it in some ways, and some guys will have to go, certainly. Especially if they like this draft, which almost everybody likes this draft. And so that's just going to be part of what happens here.
And if we have to do an expansion draft now, I will probably protect Shai, Dub, Chet. That is for sure.
Yeah.
I find it very Hart you cannot protect because he has just 1 year, I think.
He can't. He'll be like protected from it, you know.
Yeah. So I don't have to. But suppose that he has a contract negotiation, I would probably put Hart very close to the top 5 of my guys that I want here because he's so freaking special.
Yeah.
Then I don't know. Probably you protect Mitchell.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you protect Joe, but you probably protect a shooter, either him or McCain. And then Wallace. So you're there.
Yeah, you're right there already.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's yeah, I mean you could see, you know, like if it were happening right now, you could see Topic not being protected and him being the guy taken.
Yeah, or Sorber.
Yeah, where they technically lose talent but don't lose rotation players. You know, like that's just kind of the position the Thunder are in, and likely could be in a similar position, you know, whenever the expansion draft actually happens.
Yeah.
So,
and what about J Will?
And J Will.
I mean, can I it's everybody is talking about that, but I want to read it out loud. Yeah. J Will for the season is shooting 36.7% from three. Over the past 5 games, he's taking 6.4 compared to the 4.1, and he's shooting at 50%. Over the last 10 games, 47.3%. Over the last 15 games, 46%. Over the last 20 games, 45.4. So he's shooting over 20 games, 45% from 3 on 5 attempts per game.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That is, hey, I want to push myself into relevant playtime no matter the stakes. And that is fantastic because you can play J Will in many lineups. Yeah. You can play him with Chet. You can play him with Hartenstein. Why? Because the guy is turning himself into a dead-eye shooter.
Yep.
Like he's quick enough to take difficult shots. It's something that, the precision is important, but he can take a lot of shots. It's not just, hey, I'm nailing the one of the 2 trees that I can take. No.
Yeah, that game against Denver was just unreal.
Yeah.
Like, I still can't believe that happened. And if you haven't seen, I talked to Jay Will after the game at his locker and put it on Instagram, put it on Twitter if you haven't seen it yet. It was really, really something. That performance was really, really something from him that like showed like, hey, there's a lot more here for Jay Will, moving forward. And that they have just found 3 bigs that are very good and very important to the way that they function. And Chet, Hart, and Jay Will.
Yeah.
It has to be the best 3 big man rotation in the league, right? Like, is there another one that's better than that? Denver.
Well,
Denver, no.
Well, would you exchange Jokic for these 3 guys?
No.
Okay, that is already quite the take. Would you exchange Wemby for those 3 guys? Come on, say yes. We all should say yes.
Why? No.
Oh, come on, Andy. Come on. He's insane.
Yeah.
Are you really saying that if the general manager of the Spurs says, I'm in love with Chet and Hart, if you give me Jay Will on top of that, I will give you Wemby, and you say, yeah, no. I'm going to pass on that.
Thanks.
I'm going to pass on Shai, Dub, and Wemby. Come on, man.
He's going to break in half. It's okay. So I get it from like a top level talent. Yes.
I'm just saying for winning basketball games.
There is more of my point is the depth than it is like the top level talent. Because Jokic,
without Jay Will,
Jokic and Wemby are like, they're talking about the 2 best centers in the NBA, But as far as like the guys next to them and behind them, like maybe San Antonio is the only one that could like really make the argument,
Yeah. With Jokic, I understand. I really understand. I'm not sure that you would do it because you will not have OKC then.
Yeah. Like you'd have to insulate him,
Yeah.
And you don't
cannot
have
play the same way.
that. Like Chet would be awesome next to him.
Yeah.
In this theoretical trade, like you'd have to give him up. And like you have that's why Aaron Gordon is so important to them. It's like you have to insulate Jokic, defensively. And if you don't, you're not going to have a good defense. And like right now, you look at where they are for the season, they're 21st. They have a bottom 10 defense.
Yeah.
They are literally right there with the Memphis Grizzlies, who are actively trying to lose basketball games.
Yeah.
And the Bulls. They're like right there with the Bulls and right there with the Grizzlies defensively. That
is a sad place to be, especially when you think you have very good defenders. And Watson is a good defender. Brown is a decent to good defender. He can be very good in games. Gordon is a very good defender. They have the personnel. It's just that they don't play in the regular season with the same activity level.
Mm-hmm. No.
The fact that we discussed the Wemby thing, though, it shows you how insanely talented the front court of OKC is.
Mm-hmm.
It's just insane to see how these 3 players can really provide.
Yeah, it's impressive. I think Cleveland, they're just at the point where you just have to prove it,
I'm not stepping. I will not switch my centers for those.
No
way.
No. Okay, let's take a quick break. We come back. We have another super chat to read, and we'll kind of dig into the Thunder's upcoming schedule and some more stats. We'll be right back. And we're back after that quick break. I want to tell you about my friends over at Ring Family Dentistry. They take a straightforward and honest approach to dental care. Doctors Phil and Brandon Ring believe in keeping what's healthy, fixing what's not, and only replacing what truly needs it. No pressure, no upselling, just clear explanations, thoughtful recommendations, and decisions that are always up to you. Ring Family Dentistry is a true family practice with a laid-back vibe, modern tech, and high-quality work, including same-day crowns, even for your front teeth. Plus, implants, bridges, root canals, and clear aligner therapy, all offered in-house. Call to schedule an appointment today, 405-621-1555, or make an appointment online at ringfamilydentistry.com. So the Thunder currently sit first in net rating in the NBA, only team with a double-digit net rating, plus 10.7. Which is good. Boston's 2 at 7.9. Detroit 3, 7.7. San Antonio's 4, 7.2. And the Knicks are 5th at 6.3. Those are the only teams that have what it would be considered a contending level net rating, I would say. If you have a plus 6 or more, I think that's kind of widely considered to be like the number to get to. It doesn't mean that teams can't pop up and become contenders, but like you have Houston, Cleveland, Denver, all with like plus 4. The Timberwolves are a plus 3. They're 11th in net rating on the season.
Yeah.
Trying to think. The Lakers are a plus 1.1. They're 15th in the league.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting. Thunder have the number 1 defense by far still, 106.3. Number 2 is a 109.1 with Detroit, so pretty far above them. And then offensively, the Thunder are 7th in the league at a 116.9, with Charlotte, Cleveland, San Antonio, the Knicks, the Celtics, and the Nuggets ahead of them. So, elite team, even though they've suffered so many injuries all season, like they still remain the most elite team.
Yeah. Yeah, the only exception to the rule would be Denver, just because we saw them being a better defense in the playoffs, and this is why you can say, okay, with 120 offensive rating and with a horrible 116 defensive rating, you can see them being better in the postseason because of the fact that they can get to that level offensively. They can surely get to those down level on defense, but they can turn it up a notch. And so, yes, that team to me is the only exception, even if they don't technically qualify. The fact that we have so many good offenses in the East, I wonder like what the net rating would be for OKC if they would be on the Eastern Conference instead of the Western Conference. I think that it would be easily higher offensively. Defensively, probably even a little bit lower. So even that should be taken with a little bit of, hey, Boston is good. With Tatum at full strength, probably they are quite good. But do you trust the center rotation to carry them throughout the playoffs? Even if Vooch plays, I think that is probably best if he doesn't in terms of playoffs. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen in the East. I like legit just don't have a clue what's going to happen. I would still favor Boston to get all the way through. Just don't trust anybody else. But they kind of proved us right to not trust anybody last year when Indiana got all the way through. They like dark horse contender before the playoffs. Like they were really good, but like they weren't somebody that anybody was like, yeah, this team is definitely going to the finals.
No,
they were kind of a team of destiny in a lot of ways. So
yeah.
Super chat from BBOOHHMMAANN. The it's more of a comment than a question. But AJ, J. Will, and Kenrich will be the primary reason we beat San Antonio. It is paramount to keep them together and eventually scout talent that can replace Kenrich's talent in the future. Yeah, I mean, like the physicality that Kenrich plays with is probably like the most unique thing about his game that he brings to the table. And so, yeah, I don't disagree. He's done a really good job on Wemby. J. Will, I think, is becoming indispensable, as is AJ. I mean, AJ has like been put in the starting lineup. Like he guarded Ant down the stretch of that game in spots where, and they trusted him to. Mark mentioned that in the post game that's something that they want him to do.
That is something.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of tells you where their heads are at a little bit with where AJ is headed, like on this path where he's becoming one of the more important players on the team, just because of his steadiness and his like control with the basketball. Like there's just not a lot of guys that have that combination that are on this team. And so, yeah, San Antonio is going to be it's going to be fascinating to see what they're like in the playoffs too. Because I do think like they're a team that I don't know if they have another gear to go to in the playoffs. Just kind of like the Thunder did not really have another gear to hit.
Yeah.
You know? And so this was a few years ago when they couldn't get past Dallas. It's like they just didn't have another gear to get to. So like the Thunder definitely have another gear. Denver has another gear. We'll have to see who else does. I think that those two teams have proven that. Minnesota has proven that they have another gear that they can go to as well. Like they're sometimes. Not. I think again the Thunder are just such a bad matchup for them though.
Yeah, but even against the Mavs 2 years ago.
Yeah, true.
I mean, they can be good. I don't think that they can be excellent. And I think that one very important thing that I want to see in the postseason is how teams will scout for Wemby. Because in the regular season, I do think that Dignault specifically didn't do anything very peculiar. I mean, the Knicks played Robinson on him, and it was very successful. He put a lot of physicality and stuff. OKC guarded him with small guys, then sometimes, but not always with Hartenstein, probably a few possessions. A little bit with Chet, maybe with Kenrich. I do want to see how they will play him. Because, I mean, with Jokic, you cannot double him. And therefore, I mean, you do weird stuff like putting Caruso on him, then J. Will. You put a lot of physicality with him. With Wemby, I don't know. Maybe you start sending doubles and you start playing try to see if he can beat you with a pass. Or, I mean, the point is, Wemby has yet to see a defense that is geared towards just stop him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. And I mean, we have all looked at the shooting splits and like the way that the Spurs shot against the Thunder was just really abnormal for them. So
yeah, I don't think that they can afford to leave them open like they did. OKC can't, but I do think that there are other ways to play that team and to generate different offense. The fact that AJ was present just in one of those games, I mean, playing your no creation, all defense lineup against the Spurs, maybe not the way to go.
I think they're finding their way out of that, I would say.
Yeah.
I think that they're finding their way out of that. And then it's really just the guys that are available. And the fact that they do trust AJ defensively is a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big deal. So yeah, it's wild. I mean, they have some choices. And Mark's got not an easy job down the stretch here. So some of it's being made easier with like Lou Dort not shooting the ball well, with Aaron Wiggins not really being able to like dig himself out of this like rut that he's been in. And then like McCain just putting on a Thunder jersey and shooting 43% from three is just kind of unbelievable. Isaiah Joe might be like one of the most improved players for the Thunder this year.
Yeah.
Like under the radar, like Jay Wills is one of those guys. Certainly, I think that you could talk me into Shai being that guy as well. Shai is like a lot better player than he was last year, which is kind of not fair. Even though he didn't have the greatest efficiency game yesterday, but like he's still just
he's amazing
player on both ends. He was so effective, and so it's just really fun to watch him. But like Isaiah Joe, just the fact that he's getting his athleticism into the games, I feel like for his position, he's rebounding well, and then like the 3-point shooting paired with like even the mid-range shooting yesterday, it's just like, man, plus 23 yesterday. I mean, that's just kind of how he rolls right now.
Yeah.
So, and like kudos to Mark for only playing Dort 18 minutes and for letting Wiggins like get a chance, which I think they will continue to do and need to continue to like give him a chance to like get out of this funk and whatever's going on. And we know that Mark is always going to give guys shots. And I think that is a wise thing to do because you're going to need to win a championship. You need something from everybody.
Yeah.
Along the way, like you'll need Aaron Wiggins to have a game at some point. But when you have guys like Jared McCain who takes the Oos spot, and the Oos spot was a bench spot last year, that spot's no longer a bench spot anymore. Like that, it changes the calculus when you have a true knockdown shooter there. So it'll be fascinating. But all right, thanks so much for listening to the show. Hope everybody's doing great. Appreciate you guys listening. I really appreciate everybody who's kind of reached out about Amy and continue to pray for her as she kind of starts this journey. So we really appreciate you guys. I know a lot of people about shirts, and that means a ton to us. So keep doing that. Real quick before we go, there's a question. If you don't know the answer to this question, this is kind of an important one. Stack 405. Andrew, do you know what the deal is with the Supersonics name in history? Would the Thunder just give it back or what? Yes. That was already decided basically when they moved the team from Seattle to OKC, that everything was going to stay there. Now it's stayed attached to the team. But once there is a new Seattle Supersonics team in the 28-29 season, when, by the way, the Thunder will be in a brand new arena that year. So a lot of like really big things happening that year. All the Supersonic stats will move over. Basketball Reference will no longer be littered with all of these Gary Payton, Jack Sikma stats, and we can have our own Basketball Reference page, which is one of the dorkiest things I've ever said, but I really look forward to that day. So, okay. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll talk to you guys again on Wednesday.
Until to die, until to die.